here I am back with Lou, my favorite person, one of my favorite people. And we flew out, I remember, to San Jose, and we did a weekend. We performed, we danced at the expo, and that was the most lovely experience I have and will always be in my memory and my life. And thank you for that. And I met so many wonderful dancers there too. I met Auntie Angel, and who I'm really sad to say, but she's not here with us. But Auntie and Chelsea of the Rockettes, of the Rolettes. I'm sorry, Rolettes. Yeah, they roll. And when I saw all this in front of me, I thought, wow, this is amazing. There is a place for us to be. And I will tell you one thing, when I have muscular dystrophy. So, and I was a dancer all my life. And I I said, well, what am I going to do now? How am I going to be able to dance? I looked up Auntie Angel. I looked up dance wheelchairs, and I saw her picture there, and she forever inspired me. And I said, it can work. It can happen. And this woman is shows me.
Well, first of all, Donna, I think that the most creative dance routine that I've ever seen was you, and the dance routine that Tam Warner put together with the two able-bodied professional dancers, and I still watch that today, and tears come to my eyes because I think it's just the most beautiful expression of life, and which it is, and of course you did the routine at our show in Los Angeles and then San Jose, and we first met Audie at our first show, and Audie was truly an inspiration because she was an angel. She was the Pied Piper. She would be able to show people what she could do with her disability, and then to bring people with all kinds of disabilities. I mean, we would watch Audie bring in an audience of kids from 3 years old to 80 years old or 85 years old and bring them in and have them dance. And it would show people that regardless of the disability, that they can do whatever they really want to do and they can achieve that. And Audie was a great inspiration. Um, in her honor, we've named our events arena the Audie Angel Events Arena. And she passed away too early. She was only 50 years old. Um, and she was diagnosed with cancer, which ran in her family. Um, but she did so much for Abilities Expo and so much for especially the dance routines because and you and Tam really started it. Chelsea was only 19 years old at the time, and now Chelsea has her own dance group because it's 14 years later. So we've really been able to see people grow. Dancing is still the most popular item that we have in all of our events.
Yes.
So people love dancing and they love to get out and participate. It's a very immersive type of event.
And they can see that it is possible. And through Auntie and Chelsea, um, and the Abilities Expo, they can see that things are possible. Um, what do you see in the future for Abilities Expo? Do you see it going to other countries? Maybe that would be amazing.
We That's a good question. We were just in Canada. We think Canada is certainly a neighboring country and a good market. Um, we attempted to do a show in Singapore, which actually Audie attended. That was back in 2009 or 2010. The only problem was that there was only one distributor in Singapore, and he represented about 30 of our exhibitors, so that the exhibitors weren't there. It was all one distributor. So that didn't work out. We've talked to people about bringing abilities to other countries. There really aren't any abilities types of shows in the other countries, because we're business to the consumer. The other big trade shows are business to business, and RIHA is probably the biggest. That's in Dusseldorf, every other year. And they've tried to do business to consumer, but their real strength is business to business. So they sell to dealers and distributors, and they show off the new products. However, what we are finding, Donna, is that we're getting more and more interest from people who are manufacturing products outside of the United States, and they want to bring them to the United States. In Chicago, we have an Australian venture capital company that's got 3 of their startups going to be exhibiting in Chicago under Australia. And I've had interest from people from Korea, from the trade mission in Spain, and they all have companies that are developing accessible products. And obviously, I think that's a way for us to expand, is to bring in products that have been developed outside of the United States, but allow them the opportunity to sell to the United States, because we're still the biggest market in the world.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. I am ambassador of Abilities Expo Los Angeles, and it's an honor to be that. And I'm so happy to, promote and do things in the way that I can to help Abilities Expo. During the virtual, like 2020, 2021, such tough years. And I'm sure it was really, really hard for Abilities Expo as well. We did things virtually. Like I was with the dance company ZCO dance project, and we did something virtually for one of the workshops, and wanted to know from you, when there was COVID and the wearing of masks, and people were doing virtually, that was a whole pivot for you guys.
It was, and it was an expensive pivot, because we really didn't understand what we were doing. It was all new to us. We tried to put together a production value, and I thought we did a good job, because we had Paul Lane as our host for 2 of the 3 virtual shows. And as you know, we had dance routines, we had comedy routines, we had original songs. So we had a lot of live events, as well as the workshops and the exhibit floor. However, the problem that we ran into is that the exhibitors felt that they weren't really engaging with the viewers, and they weren't able to show them, sit in my chair, or look at how this works. So the exhibitors didn't quite get the return on their investment as we expected. On the other hand, it was important for us to remain relevant in the marketplace and tell the marketplace still here.
Of course.
We had, I think in our second virtual event, we had 19,000 people pre-register. We had at least 100 people from New Zealand and Australia who came in during the hours that we were working. So obviously it's got a universal and a global appeal, and we still reach those people, but virtual from a return on investment just didn't work. It cost too much money to produce, and the sponsors just weren't there to support us.
Well, I know that you went back to live shows, and hopefully this is going to be continuing, and we'll see a lot more. And you know, we won't have to go through that rough time again.
Well,
So
we truly hope so. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back.